Okay, we are live. Welcome back, you guys. Yes, it is the Hump Day Wednesday episode that we got to recap September 11th, both for the Young and the Restless and the Bold and the Beautiful. And we got a lot to talk about. And we're going to give it a couple minutes and then we will get started. Hold on one second. Let us see. Okay, there we go. Hey, Keita. Hey, Aisha. Monique. Myra. Hello, Dewan. Melissa Spencer's in the house. Angela. Hey, you guys. Welcome, welcome, welcome. How you guys doing today on this Hump Day Wednesday? We got quite a few things to chat about. You know, based on the way this picture is set up, you could have Lucy actually looking like Hope's little sister. I mean, that's just popped in my head. I don't know if that's actually the case. Hey, Cynthia says, Sophie's in the house. Absolutely. Hey, Indigo. Hey, Jules. Welcome in. Let me see how many people we got in here. Because once I hit 20, I usually like to get started. Okay, all right, we got 19. Hey, Deborah. Deborah. All right, we got 23 in here. Let's go ahead and get started. So welcome you guys to Soap Corner Talk, where I'm going to do our usual midday recap of both the Young and the Restless and the Bold and the Beautiful. And we're going to start with, and make sure you hit that like button on the way in. Hey, Jacqueline. Hey, Rosie. We're going to start with the Young and the Restless, and look like it was only two storylines today, and it all runs together. This whole thing with Lucy and Faith and the two families. So we got Sharon and her family and Phyllis and her family. And then, of course, we have both Nicholas and Mariah trying to figure out whether or not she's been taking her meds. So, let me see. Since this is all running together, usually when we have the soaps, we got multiple storylines going together. But in this particular instance, all of it ties into each other. You know what I mean? So, that's what we're going to kind of take a look at that part of it. You know what I mean, you guys? So, first of all, it left off yesterday of the whole situation where Sharon got into that whole heated argument, where she tells, what was that? Hold on. Phyllis was talking about how the craziness must end after Sharon raged on her and Lucy first at the coffee house, and then we kind of talked about it yesterday where Sharon raged at Phyllis over at the GCAC alongside Heather, and we saw the conversation where Heather was telling Daniel they need to leave town. So it kind of ties into today's episode. So let's talk about Phyllis, because Phyllis is not happy about what happened over at the GCAC yesterday with her and Heather. And she sit down and she have a conversation with Nicholas. And the whole conversation, it was almost like Nick was like, what did you do, Phyllis? And I'm like, dude, you don't even know the whole conversation yet. And I don't blame Phyllis for getting kind of frustrated with Nick at that coffee house until he realized that, Phyllis reined it in. Let her tell the full story before you jump in trying to be accusatory to Phyllis. Phyllis was like, look, I'm having a private conversation and lunch with my daughter-in-law. Well, I don't think they're married, but Heather. And Sharon come in there and bulldoze the conversation, raging at the two of them. And like I said, Heather was 2 seconds off of snatching a knot out of her. And, she walked away. But then her and Phyllis she got into it with Phyllis. What does Phyllis expect Nick to do about Sharon? They're not married. Technically they're not. But I guess Phyllis is kind of holding him to this because Nicholas has taken up the reins on knowing what's going on with her, the situation with her medicine. He's been hanging around, of course, with everything going on with Faith. So I think maybe she's like, look, you better go get your ex-wife and rein her in. And granted, like you say, Myra, he technically don't have to do anything, but, his daughter is living in that house, before she go back to school. So they need to figure out what the French toast is going on with her. Everything someone does, Phyllis would get blamed because we know Phyllis liked to poke the bear. Yeah, she liked to poke the bear, but, in this situation, she didn't go there. She could have. Sharon has to bite the bullet on that one. She has to take accountability because she didn't have to go over there to that table. And I said that yesterday. All that Sharon needed to do is, if she was coming in to grab a bite to eat or get a drink or a sandwich or something, do what you came to do at the GCAC and leave them alone. They didn't come to you. You came to them. Yeah, Jules, Nick is not married to Sharon. Phyllis has done so much dirt to people. I get it, but in this moment, she took the high road. Phyllis could have turned on and do Phyllis, and she didn't because she obviously know, that something is off with Sharon. However, in the conversation that we did see over at the coffee house between Nick and Phyllis, Phyllis was like, you need to do something with her. She need to go to Fairview. So she wants to have Sharon committed. You know what I'm saying? So I'm like, they need to figure out what's going on with her, because that's where it comes into the whole conversation between Nick and Mariah. So Nick and Mariah also was like, you know what, we need to figure out what's going on. This is getting out of hand. It's going too far. And I don't think she's taking her meds. So she decides to, thinking that, which of course she was over at the GCAC, this was the opportunity to go to the house and sneak around to see if maybe, her meds are being used or not used. And of course she got caught. And Mariah played it off talking about, oh, I just came over here to get a necklace. And Sharon was like, this is the most lucid I've seen Sharon. Because Sharon was like, wait a minute. I remember you telling me you was going to Cassidy first. Oh, well, I took a late lunch and I wanted to grab a necklace. And, Sharon was like, yeah, something don't sound right. But okay. And she let it slide. But then we get that whole crazy scene with Cameron Kirsten, and she having a whole conversation with this man. We get a scene where she's dreaming about kissing Nicholas, and Cassie, of course, played by Cameron Grimes as well, who plays Mariah. She comes in with her hair straight because Mariah's hair is in a curl style. And so she came in there with straight hair, with a flowy dress, and she was like, oh, I'm fine. I'm married to an athlete, and we're doing good. So I'm assuming, obviously, Sharon had dreams that Cassie was going to grow up and be married to some sports athlete or something, and that her and Nick was going to be married for 30 years or whatever, 40 years or whatever. But, yeah, we got a whole dream sequence with this situation. And of course, here come Cameron Kirsten, and she actually, meaning Sharon, said that the person who should have passed away in that accident shouldn't have been Cassie. It should have been Daniel. Oh yeah, this is about to get bad. This is about to turn bad. Because you would hope nobody gets hurt. Not Cassie, not Daniel. But she was like, yeah, he was the one that should have been taken out. And there was some bad decision making. She was driving underage. The girl don't know how to drive. She tried to drive him home. He was drinking and got intoxicated. That whole thing was a hot mess back then. So, and then Mariah gets back to society to the coffee house, and we come because I thought sure she was gonna say she's not taking her meds. Yeah, the bottle was full, and Mariah came back and said, yeah, she's actually been taking her meds. So where are we going with this? I mean, are they maybe she's pouring them one by one down the toilet? Is it the wrong medication that she's taking? Is it too much of a certain dose that she's taking? What is really going on? That's my question. All right, let me pause right there. Let me check out some of y'all comments. Let's see. Dewan says he can't feel sorry for Phyllis. Okay. Yeah, make sure we get the likes up, you guys. Make sure we get the likes up and keep it going here. We got 65 people in the chat. Let's get the likes up. Aisha said, I don't follow this one, but I will start watching. Yeah, check it out and see if you can get into it, Aisha. Sandra said, Phyllis need to mind her own damn business because she seemed to forget that she took out a man and cried self-defense, with the writers used as a cop-out to a horribly written storyline. I agree. Aisha said, who's the man they keep talking to? That's Cameron Kirsten. So a year ago, that same guy kidnapped her daughter Faith, and Sharon took him out with a knife. And now he's in her head right now. So that's who that is. Sharon definitely needs help, but so do Lucy. Exactly. That's why I put in my title, both Sharon and Lucy is losing it. Because we got to talk about Miss Thang. I just saw that this was on. Hey, Jenna. If they put Sharon in Fairview, they should also put Phyllis in there with her. Lucy need to go, actually. And I kind of talked about her pedigree. I'm wondering why she... Okay, I'll get to her in a minute. I just wanted to get through these comments before I start moving on to the next storylines. I don't think that Mariah found the right meds. That's a good point, too. That's possible. I'm betting she has them, but not taking them. I thought she saw her put out a bottle of ibuprofen. Yeah, but she went in the bathroom. So she looked in her purse, pulled out the ibuprofen. And then when I thought I saw her go upstairs, and then they cut off to the scene. So somehow Mariah came back saying something totally different. I don't think Phyllis is wrong. Sharon attacked her. I totally agree with that, Jenna. That's the part I do agree against Sharon. Because Heather and Phyllis were minding their own business, and Sharon came out of the blue directly over to them, going off in public, in a public restaurant. I think Faith was right. We're going to talk about that. The medicine she took out of purse. Yeah, but I'm wondering if there's a part that they did not show us. Because she said she was going to check the medicine cabinet after that she looked in her purse. So maybe when she checked in the medicine cabinet, she might have found it. I'm glad Faith told Lucy she needs help. I like what she says. Mariah's lying. Phyllis needs to stop downplaying Lucy's troubles, not acting out like a teen. Okay, so let's talk about that. So we're going to switch over, and we're going to talk about Lucy and this conversation with Daniel, Phyllis, Summer. So over at the GCAC, Phyllis was having a conversation with Summer, and she was telling her everything that was going on. And Summer actually had a level head in this conversation. Like, I think you need to take a step back, Mom, especially since Daniel came in there and said, look, I need to handle this. I know you're trying to be mama bear mode, but I need to take care of what's going on with my family. You know what I mean? So, yeah, I think Phyllis need to let Daniel figure that out, because when Phyllis get her hands in something, she tends to make it backfire, or it gets worse. So I don't blame Daniel for telling her to take a step back. And then even Summer was like, Mom, are you sure you're going to take a step back? Or are you just telling Daniel what he wanted to hear? So, yeah. So, I mean, we'll see if Phyllis actually listens to her son. But in my opinion, yeah, I don't think so. So Daniel goes home and have it out with Lucy. And this is where I draw the line on disrespect. I don't care if it is a kid. And that shows the difference in times have changed. And I know I might have a difference of opinion. She's a teenager. And granted, teenagers do teenager type things. But this girl is disrespectful. She don't respect her parents. She don't respect other adults. And for somebody who really wants to be friends with somebody, she don't even respect her wannabe friendship with Faith. First of all, I thought she was going to sneak out when her dad told her not to leave. So I got to give her brownie points for not sneaking out. However, she did call Faith. Faith comes over to the house and says, what do we got to talk about? You didn't apologize. It's behind us. I don't hate you, but at the same time, I don't think we should be friends. And matter of fact, I think you need to talk to someone because you have issues with your drinking. People are not your friend only when they tell you what you want to hear. And as long as Faith was doing what Lucy wanted her to be to her, it was okay. The moment that her friend give her some real truths, then you turn your back on her. This is why this is a whole problem. And she's extremely selfish. Yes, teenagers can be selfish. Teenagers can be disrespectful. Because I know people are saying she's a kid. She's a kid. She's going to have to learn. However, somewhere along the way, her parents should have taught her respect and boundaries. I'm going to say that. Anyway, Lucy's out of control. I get it that she's got youth on her side, but talking crazy to her father, being disrespectful to other adults, that is a no-no. I mean, maybe I'm speaking from my own space. My kids, I don't allow that type of BS. I mean, I had 2 teenagers, one of each. I was a teenager. And that type of stuff wasn't tolerated back then. You know, you go and take several seats or else you're in big trouble. Exactly, Deborah. And that was the other thing. I'm wondering if they're going anywhere because Lucy has her pedigree is Terrible Tom, Sheila Carter, Daisy, and Phyllis. Her DNA mix have a lot of crazy in it. So it wouldn't surprise me that she would turn out to be this, entitled brat who is selfish, that only wants what she wants. Sheila Carter is the same way in her heyday. Now, right now, she's in her soft girl era. She's got her husband, Deacon, and he's keeping both of them are living their best life. But the Sheila that we knew in the past 30 years, 35 years, that Sheila kind of acted like her. Sheila always wanted what she wanted in the moment. She didn't care. Whatever it was about her, making her happy. It was all about me, 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 me. I don't care what somebody else think. I'm going to do whatever I want to get what I want. That was 110% Sheila Carter. Yeah, Cece. Cece said, I'm not that old and I don't tolerate it. She's straight up rude. Absolutely. I've seen social media, and I actually saw a couple of threads on Reddit, and some people were Team Sharon. And I agree with what happened at the coffee shop yesterday, because she tried to talk softly in her inside voice with Faith, saying, look. And Daniel knows better anyway. They agreed to stay away from each other. Why did you come to that coffee house? You got Society, you got the GCAC, and any other coffee house. Uber Eats, DoorDash. I mean, no sponsorship, sorry, YouTube. But you got options. You had to come to the one coffee shop where not only Sharon and her family resides, but she owned the place. And I mean, he can't stay away from there forever, but I think maybe you need to take a step back just for a few days after everything has happened. And Sharon tried to tell her nicely, I think maybe this is not a good idea, and that Faith is feeling some kind of way about this, which she did validate in today's episode. Because a lot of people was like, oh, Faith didn't say that. Her mom just was talking for her. Well, Faith validated that in this episode today. That she need to, take a step back. And what did Lucy do? Lucy got loud. She got disrespectful. She got up in her face. Her dad tried to pull her back. She told her dad to back down. And then she turned around and says, no, you can't keep us away from each other. And at the same time telling her about Cassie. That's a trigger word. And Daniel for letting that girl sit up there and talk to another adult. A 14-year-old like that, that's a problem. That's why she don't respect her father. Because she know he ain't gonna do nothing. She done lied to him 1,000 times. She done snuck out. She done got booze. She done got in bars and all types of things. And they keep putting her in timeout. Go to your room. Yes, they've taken things from her, but this little girl is out of control. But so is Sharon. Because I did not like how Sharon bulldozed Phyllis and Heather yesterday either. So there's some accountability to go around. But somebody needs to go and snatch that little girl up and tell her to go sit down somewhere. And that's in the voice of my grandmother. May she rest in peace. God bless her. So, anyway. She need to go sit down somewhere. I mean, you can't play the teenage, I'm a kid role, but then you jump up in an adult as if you was an adult yourself. And I like the fact in today's episode, Faith said, look, we can't be friends. I got to go back to college. We're not even in the same. We in two different places in our lives right now. I'm sorry, but I got to go. And what did she do? The same person that she begged and pleaded and jumped in Sharon's face, she turned around and turned her back on her because she didn't get what she want, which is selfish. One thing about being a good friend is telling people, your friend, the truth. This ain't gonna work. And then she goes into this whole thing, what about our connection and all this? I'm like, girl, what connection? What are you talking about? Lucy, what connection? So yeah, Faith was right. Set the boundary. We can't do this anymore. And then she turned around and be sniped about it. Well, then I don't want you to be late hanging out with your older friends. Listen, Faith, you dodged a bullet with that one. Tell her, walk out that door and leave her right there. And her parents need to get her some help. Because, like I said, with the pedigree she has the potential of being Sheila Carter 2.0. And throw a little sprinkle of Phyllis in there. And Terrible Tom as her grandfather. And her mama Daisy. Shoot. They better have that girl go talk to somebody. Cynthia said Lucy needs the character Medea to get her in check. Listen. Medea would definitely get her in check. Criticizing won't help her. Get her to counseling. It would be a phase. It could be deeper. That girl need counseling. And Faith was right, Jenna. She need to go talk to somebody. Even if it's about the drinking. She was honest with her. So as much as folks were saying that, oh, Sharon was lying. Faith didn't say that. Obviously, her mom knew what her daughter was thinking, or they had the conversation. Because Faith mimicked that. And you see, Lucy tried to say, oh, your mom got to you. She was like, no, this coming from me. I'm telling you, as a 21-year-old, and 20, 21, something like that, because I think she's like in her junior year in college, which would put you at about 19 or 20. And you being 14, we in two different places in our lives. So, yeah, that girl need. I don't think that Lucy or Sharon was right in that scene. Lucy sounds like she need. Wait a minute. Lucy sounds like she and Faith had a. Yeah, that was a weird. It made it sound more intimate. I'll just say that the way that Lucy was acting. Like, what about our connection? And I mean, we have something. I'm like, y'all not in a relationship. I don't know. That was interesting. So I don't know what that was about, why that was written that way, but it was, I was trying to figure that out. Did she have a crush on the girl or something? I don't know. It was just different. Because I can understand friendship, like, man, I want to hang out. We go clubbing, but they can't go clubbing. She's 14. So I don't understand this. We have a connection. I mean, don't you see our connection? I'm like, I don't know about that, ma'am. Exactly, Black Pink Me. It was almost like she had a girl crush or something. Jules says she turned out to be just like Sheila. Yeah, that's what it sounded like to me. Sheila Carter 2.0. So she needs to get some help. They need to do it quickly because she's getting worse. She's mouthing off at her parents every time they tell her to do something. She don't think that this is a big deal. And Faith had to tell her, Luce, what happened was a big deal. And the fact that she threw her, because Cassie is Faith's sister, or was Faith's sister, how can you just make that so cavalier to your friend? This is a sister that Faith never met. But Cassie was her sister. And to say it was no big deal, she always throwing Cassie around. They need to let that go. You don't get to determine that, Lucy. So, yeah, they need to rein her in. They need to get the help that she needs. Yeah, I agree. And, yeah, up the likes, you guys. There's 95 people in here and 42 likes. Let's go, you guys. 43 likes now. Thank you. Sandra said, I'm tired of Nick and Mariah and their hesitation when it comes to Sharon because you all keep saying she's off and doing nothing. Sharon is about to hurt somebody. Yeah, she's like she about to take Daniel out. Because I thought originally when me and my other panelists was first looking at this storyline, we was thinking that maybe something happened to Lucy. But it looks like maybe she's probably going to come after Daniel. So, yeah. It's going to be interesting. All right, you guys. Let us flip the script. And we finna head over to the Bold and the Beautiful. It's 99 people in this chat. Make sure you hit that like button. Also, make sure you follow on the other platforms. We have a Facebook group where I post a lot of spoilers. And there's a lot of engagement from my engagement crew in the group. Jenna, Dewan, Myra, and who's the other young lady? Myra and LaShanta. And there's quite a few of you guys over here. I don't want to leave anybody out. Yes, so make sure you guys, check us out on the other platforms. TikTok. I post a lot of videos on TikTok from time to time, little clips and different things like that. And then Instagram. All right, let's talk about Bold. So the aftermath of Poppy look like I'm hoping that that's not the last we've seen of Poppy and Luna, but who knows? Because it looked like, in my opinion, with Bill Spencer, let's talk about this thing with Will, Katie, and Bill. Will just said he did not want to play matchmaker. Yet, he's playing matchmaker. And he's kind of doing this little passive-aggressive thing with his parents. And I'm like, at what point do these kids stay out of grown folks' business? because he came for his dad, talking about, don't you want to be with her? I mean, you were the one that screwed it up. And I'm like, okay, I get it. You understand your parents are divorced, but I don't know. Maybe it's just me. Let me stop. But anyway, he's playing matchmaker. Now, what's interesting is we've never really heard Bill Spencer tell Poppy that he loves her. We've heard Poppy say that. But in this episode, we did hear Bill say that he loves Katie. Now, what type of love? Is that love as a person? Love as his son's mother? Or is this a, romantic type love? And I honestly think that a part of him still have feelings for her. Obviously, Brooke was the biggest issue in their marriage. But it looked like they might be trying to put these two back together. And I wouldn't be a bit surprised that, of course, Will is probably the one that's going to try to make this happen. Hey, Stella. Hey, Jacqueline. Yeah, so it looked like maybe... Uh-oh, my screen flipped. I don't know what just happened there. But anyway, I don't know. I was hoping to kind of explore the relationship with Poppy, but I don't think that's going to go well because he really don't... I think he enjoys hanging out, the whimsical, free-spirited, but the woman that would be wifey, I don't think he see Poppy as wifey. I think he sees Katie as wifey. And who knows, it might go down that route. So Bill was sitting up there talking about how she's my protector and my guardian angel, and I love her, and she's trying to be like all modest and whatnot. Oh, just what are you talking about? And I'm like, girl, stop it. You've been trying to get to this point since Poppy came in his life. You've been trying to uproot that girl, get her gone, get back in Bill's life, and now you want to play coy. Yeah, okay. Whatever, Katie. Blackpink Me said Katie is boring. Steffy, Brooke, and Katie. Bill women, he would take Katie out of obligation. I mean, okay, so let me ask you guys in the chat. How many people, you know what? Give me a 1 if you want Bill and Katie back together. Give me a 2 if you just want them to stay co-parents. So 1, get together. 2, no. And I'll start it myself. So I'm going to put a 2 in the chat. Let me see what y'all got. Aisha said, I'm not liking it. 1, put Bill and okay, 2. Oh my goodness. I got a bunch of 2s. Oh, Jan says put them back together. Alright, so for those that watch the replay, let me know down in the comment section once the video, for those that watch the video after we stop streaming, let me know if you guys will want Bill and Katie back together or keep them separate. But based on the poll I just did, yeah, it looked like y'all want to keep them two apart. So we'll see if Will will be successful. All right. We had another conversation go on over at Dr. Finnegan's office between Little Puke Waffle Boy Liam and Dr. Finnegan. And that was a very interesting conversation. I didn't know what to expect from Liam, but Liam actually came over to his office to thank him. And Finn was like, of course, I know we've been through a lot, but at the end of the day, I try to take accountability and I save and protect my family. Now, I gotta say, Steffy usually is the one that put herself in these situations, and Finn put his cape on and go and save her most of the time. But yeah, Waffle Boy came up in there. Who called him Waffle Boy? I just saw that in my Aisha. Waffle Boy needs to stay back. I know, right? Because he was sitting up in there looking like, yeah, I'm going to protect my wife. Because I love her. And she loved me. And we going to do this darn thing as a family. You know. And Liam is like, yeah. And then he really gave Liam a gut punch. when Finn told him about the fact that not only, he's going to protect Steffy, but I'm deeply committed to her. And of course, when it comes to being committed, Liam don't hold a candle to that statement, which is why Hope was so hung up on Thomas about being a one-woman man. And eventually Steffy left Liam and never got back to him, and even though we have not got those kisses out, even though there was prime opportunity a month ago. But yeah, that whole situation, he couldn't say nothing. He was there to protect her. Liam was the one that told Finn, don't bother her, leave her alone, this is your fault. And so Finn was like, look, it would have went one of two ways. Number one, she's in trouble and I find her, she's going to be incredibly mad. But either way, me and the kids need to know where she was. And so, yeah, Liam had to look at that like, dang, I would have probably left her where she was. And am I that committed dude like Finn is? No. Not at all. So, yeah, Liam, he had to eat a little bit of crow. Girl, Jenna, he always got to stick his nose in Finn's office somehow. And nearly everyone calls Liam the waffler, and him and Ridge. Exactly, Sandra. It was because after they got all of the darts out the way, they actually at the end of the conversation had a friendly conversation. So it was good. So I agree with you on that one, Angela. Hope need to go somewhere, Dewan. Forget the kisses, that's long over. Girl, at this point, Jenna, you're right. They not going to do nothing with them kisses. They had another open door opportunity when Hope kissed Finn to bring that up, and they didn't do it. So I think that door is probably after that going to be permanently closed. I'll never say never. They could bring it up somehow, but yeah. Medora's Liam is a waste of space. I just think they need to give him a different storyline. And this is why I wanted Sally Spectra from The Young and the Restless, who used to be on The Bold and the Beautiful. That's why I wanted Sally to, come back, cross back over to B&B, because therefore they could pick up where they left off between Liam and Sally. So I would be interested in that. Liam be more at the hospital than Lee. I know, right, Bobby? Liam had all type of things going on in his head when Finn told him he would do anything for Steffy. Liam had nothing to say. Angela, he shut him down. What else could Liam say? Not a thing. So, all right. So then we had a conversation between Brooke and Hope. And Brooke is trying her best to get Hope to back up off of Finn. And she keep re-emphasizing that, look, you saw what just happened. Finn is committed to his wife and his marriage. He is a hero to Steffy. And she even said that, yes, Finn is a hero. He's and Brooke was like, yeah, but that's Steffi's hero. I don't know. I'm looking forward to when they move her away from this thing. This thing been going on since May. So for probably the greater of the last 5 months, we've been dealing with this Hope and Finn, whatever. Now, I don't know if it's the end of this week or next week. From what I understand, Hope is supposed to make one more play towards Finn. And I think this is also going to be, because I know that on Friday there's a spoiler that Steffi, Carter, and Eric is going to have to break some harsh news to Hope about her fashion line. So, and that's what she should be focused on, instead of thinking about Finn and kissing this man and all this old craziness. You know what I'm saying? I hope not, Sandra. I hope not. That would be crazy. We just came out of a whole summer of putting things in people's drinks. So then we got the conversation on the other side of the door with the other mom and daughter, Steffy and Taylor. I was going to call her Tay Tay. I used to call Krista Allen Tay Tay. I don't know if I'm there yet with this Taylor. I like her, but I gave Krista Allen the Tay Tay name. So Taylor and we had the conversation with her and Steffy. And she gave her daughter a warning, like, look, I'm glad you're okay. I'm glad to be home. I want to be your support system because I don't want you to think you don't have anybody supporting you. But I'm giving you a warning. You're going to have to watch out for Hope coming for your man. And Steffi was like, shoot, I ain't got nothing to worry about. That man then put his cape on for me. He went through a DNA paternity thing when I slept with Liam. We didn't know who Hayes was the father. He took a bullet from me, and he saved me. That man ain't going nowhere. I ain't worried about Hope. She's like, I got this. So thanks for the warning, but I got it. So then there's a switcheroo of the daughters and the moms. So Taylor goes over to, Brooke calls Taylor in the office, and then we had a conversation between Steffi and Hope. So the conversation between Brooke and Taylor was like, Brooke was trying to be nice. Oh, it's glad to have Steffi back. I'm happy for you, and I'm glad everything is okay. And Taylor was looking like, okay. Thank you. I appreciate that. And then Taylor went in saying about the whole Forrester versus Logan. And, of course, that didn't sit well with Brooke. And Taylor's like, look, I need your daughter to stay away from my daughter's husband. Bottom line, point blank, period. Stay away. Tell your daughter to stay away from my daughter's husband. And, Brooke get that goofy look on her face, but there's nothing that she could say because she'd been knowing that this was going on for months. Everybody else thinks that this is new. But Brooke has known this since May, June, something like that. So I don't blame her. Like, look, you need to go rein your daughter in. Tell her to stay away from my son-in-law. And then on the other side of the door, in the other office, is Steffi and Hope. Now, Hope tried to come in being pleasant. We glad to have you back. I know that had to be a crazy situation. And Steffi was like, look, don't try to finesse me. Don't butter me up. You just better get that Hope for the future line together. And then, Hope was like, I'm like, ooh, okay. Yeah, you did kiss the girl's husband. She kind of miffed right now. She didn't have to run off. She should have fixed her marriage by staying at the house. So that's on Steph. She didn't have to go and leave and all this old craziness. You fix your marriage by fixing your marriage by working it out with your spouse. But anyway, the ones say Finn and Hope have true love. You think so, huh? Liam should just claim Forrester on his taxes. Monique, that is hilarious. He should, as much as he stay over there. But we did look like Steffi was like, yeah, I'm just glad I'm not in that situation. And my husband was the one that saved me. And she told her, she like, look, let me help you out, Hope. I'm just want to give you a piece of advice. And this advice is to not be like your mother. Don't turn into Brooke Logan 2.0. I don't know what that's going to turn into. Now, there is false spoilers that she's setting her sights on a new man. And I did a standalone video about that. So if you haven't checked that out, make sure that you do. But I want to throw another man in the ring. Because at first I thought the only other available man is Carter. Zende is also another available man. Now, granted, let me think. Deacon and Brooke are her parents. So, yeah, Zende is in nowhere related to Hope. And those are probably the only two men, because whoever this new man that she's going after is somebody that could help her save her line. And the only two people that might have access to do that is either Carter or Zende. So let me ask you a question, my soapies in the chat. Would you prefer to see Hope with Zende or Hope with Carter? So either write Carter or Zende, and don't say neither, because whatever it is coming. So I want to know, if you had to pick one, Carter or Zende. RJ is her brother, Jawan. So let's see. Melissa said Zende. I said Jenna. I said don't say neither. If you got neither, then just leave it blank. Don't say anything. I just want to get a gauge, because they're gonna pick somebody. Zende, Carter, Zende. Okay, it's a mixed bag. It's a mixed bag. That would drive Brooke insane. I know it would. Would be funny if the new man for Hope is Bill. Yeah, I don't think they're going down that route, Medora. I actually think that they're headed Bill over to Katie. This is a whole part of a matchmaking storyline that's for the fall with Will Spencer. So, yeah. So, I haven't seen any, unless they haven't released it yet. But I haven't seen any casting news for a new guy. You know what I mean? Well, actually, Zende, the guy that plays Zende, Delon DeMetz, is 36 years old. And I think Annika is 33, 34. So, yeah, he plays a younger character. But Delon DeMetz is almost 40. So, I don't know what they were trying. Because, when they put him around Paris and Luna, those girls are in their 20s. Now, I think the girl Diamond White is 26. But Delon DeMetz is 36. Zende is working on the same line now. He can't save it. Yeah, but they can create a storyline around it to try. If she's going to be manipulative enough to say, okay, I need my line saved and I need a man. So who can I do that with where I can kill two birds with one stone? And it's the only two people that could do that is Carter, because he's COO, but I don't think he would. I think he would see through Hope if she's trying to do that. And the other person is Zende, which technically they both single, and even though the character of Zende, I think, is played by a younger aged character, Delon DeMetz, as I said before, is 36 years old. So that would be, I don't know. Or would you guys rather see a casting of a new person? You know what I mean? Would y'all rather see them cast somebody else new? Hope needs help. I do believe that she would try and do Zende like she do Thomas. Yeah, because remember, Thomas drew, her line was an inspiration on his feelings for her. That's why the line was doing so well, because Thomas's feelings for Hope came out through his work. So I don't know if maybe Hope thinks she can get, if this is Zende, if Hope figure that she can finesse Zende into feeling something for her, will he feel inspired and design as well? Okay, so y'all want to see a new person altogether. Okay, gotcha. That makes sense. But I haven't seen anything, and that's not to mean that they haven't, But whoever this person is supposed to be somebody to help save her line. And I don't know if that's the case. You know what I'm saying? At first I was thinking Carter, because he's the COO and he needs a new storyline. But if it's not Carter, the only available person that's not related to her, blood related to her, is Zende. That's you know, that's on screen. Everybody, her RJ is her brother. The new man, it can't be Finn. Thomas is not new, and he's in Paris. And Liam is her ex, and he's not new either. So the only other person, you know, process of elimination, you know what I mean? Yeah, but we'll find out, you guys. We will find out. So, looking forward to seeing what happens tomorrow. They need to pull Lucy in because her and Sharon are off the charts. And Steffy putting Hope on notice with her line and to stay away from her husband. I think maybe she needs to, she needs to rein it in. Girlfriend is doing too much. You know what I'm saying? And so, you know, we'll get to see how this shifts, what's going to happen, you know, with everything. You know what I mean? So, we will see. All right, you guys? Okay, so I'm going to end it here. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. Turn on your notifications so you're notified every time a video is posted. And until the next video, we will see you guys soon. Bye, Soapies.